13-year pro and MLS Cup champion Quincy, a.k.a. The Chip Amarikwa, presents the Perfect Soccer Podcast, where your host goes one-on-one to get to know your favorite and aspiring pro players and coaches both on and off the pitch. Today's episode is sponsored by the Perfect Soccer Ball. Buy 10 Perfect Soccer Balls for only $100. This special is now available for purchase at perfectsoccerskills.com/ball. Today's episode is also sponsored by the Perfect Soccer Uniform. Custom designed jerseys and full uniforms starting from $25. Place your order for purchase at perfectsoccerskills.com/uniform. If you have any special requests or know someone perfect to be a guest on our podcast, please send us an email to contact@perfectsoccerskills.com. Thanks, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Perfect Soccer Podcast. Our special guest today is Chris Toth. Chris, how's it going?
Going good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. Before we get into your background in soccer, I just want to go over the soccer tournament, because I know you played the last two years, well, the first 2 years, I guess you'd say, with the Sneaky Fox. So, like, overall, like, year 1 and 2, like, what was your overall experience?
Year 1 was, just kind of understanding what it was. And after the tournament, the whole team was just like, man, we're definitely coming back, Year 2, we had big expectations. We understood what it was, how it worked. Guys that hadn't played that format got a feel for it, and I think it excited them. It's similar to indoor, so I kind of have an idea, but the target time is something really unique. I think they did a good job with adding that into the game, but pretty happy with overall, the 2 times I've played in it. The team I was on was fantastic, great people, and got to meet new people like Quincy, and it's been a joy. It's been a big joy to compete in TST.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think even last year when it first started, everyone was like, what's going on? And then they got picked up. I think it got picked up like during it, while it was happening, by Peacock. And then you guys were on there. So that was crazy. And I remember, were you were originally slated to be the backup goalie, right?
Yeah. So two years ago, Nick Ronaldo was going to play, and I joined just to support. And I don't know, I want to say 3 minutes into warm up, he did his calf. And then I just played from there.
Yeah. What was that like? Even like the mentality of you were going in, like, as you said, as a backup, so you didn't really know how much playing time you were going to have.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I mean, you always are ready, whether you're starter or backup. I haven't played backup in a long time. In indoor, I'm a starter, and I play, I'm the first starter as well with the beach national team. And so it was kind of a moment for me to kind of sit back and go, okay, well, I get to kind of just chill and just kind of stay ready. And as soon as he did it, I was like, oh, okay, like, all right, I'm back in, So it was just kind of crazy how it happened, though. Honestly, he went on like 2 jogs, took like 2 minutes, jogged a little bit, and sat down. And I was like, oh, something doesn't look right. And then Mike McGee comes up to me and goes, Chris, you're in. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I don't know, I can't remember, because I think you scored a game winner last year.
Yeah, so I scored a game winner in the first game against Zala. I think that was a 3-2 game I scored. And I also scored again in the first game this year, which was I think it was a 3-2 game as well.
That's crazy. Yeah. What is that like to score as a goalie?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen often, right? You don't see it in the outdoor game. In indoor, it can happen. In beach soccer, it happens quite often. But it's a fun moment. Anytime a goalie can go and score, there's just something special about it. Everybody, oh my God, the goalie just scored. So it's just, I don't know. It was a fun moment.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go back in time a little bit. What's your first memory of playing soccer?
First memory of playing soccer, man, long time ago here in San Diego, California. Uh, my parents had me signed up for like a mini, like, so there's a normal size indoor arena and then there's like tiny, tiny, tiny ones for little kids. And I remember playing for a team in this tiny indoor league thing. And the goals were, I mean, small. We're talking, scaled down for like 5, 6 year olds. And I remember I didn't even have soccer shoes. I had these like monster shoe thing, like a boot, these black ones. I remember I was wearing those because I couldn't kick the ball very well. So I would just toe jam it, to try to get as much power. But that was kind of, my first memory of playing soccer was in that little, indoor facility.
Yeah. And then what about being a goalie is unique, as you know? What was your, I guess, like, did you always play goalie or were you a field player first?
So I started in goal first, and then I moved to the field. I can't remember what age, but at a young age, I was on the field, and then I moved back into goal, and then I was on the field, and then I moved back into the goal permanently in my junior year of high school. So I played goalie always growing up, and I also played the field. And it was like one of these relationships where I was like, man, I really like to make saves, but I really like to score goals too. And so I was like, I would drive my youth coaches insane because I'd be like, oh, this year I want to play in goal. And then next year, oh, well, this year I want to play on the field. And they'd be like, oh my God, Chris, like just pick one. And but the thing I believe in for youth is, any player that's kind of caught in that, they should play both. I think it benefits them in both positions, just knowing how to play goalie and then also working on the foot skills that, field players normally get. Because if you do decide to play goalkeeper, you have the foot skills.
Yeah, definitely. And then, tell me about what was your recruiting process like in high school?
Recruiting process. I mean, pretty simple. You just go through a basic tryout, and freshman year is probably the toughest because you're a new player, at the school. And the school that I had went to, we were pretty deep, pretty talented school. So I went to a tryout and I made the freshman team. Had a chance to go JV, but it was pretty stacked. And as a freshman, I was pretty short at the time and small. And so I stayed on the freshman team. And once you're kind of in that, on the team somewhere, eyes are kind of on you. JV coaches looking at the freshmen for next year. And same with varsity, they're looking at the JV team for the following year. And so I just kind of, kept playing and moved my way up.
Yeah, for sure. And then, ultimately, how did you pick your college?
Well, so I went 1 year community college. School wasn't really for me, but I went here to Amarikwa College, community college here in Oceanside, California. I played one season there, and after that, I went overseas. I went to Europe and did a trial over there. And before that, I was already kind of playing here professional indoor with the San Diego Stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was playing, and then I said, okay, well, let me go give outdoor a shot overseas. And I have dual citizenship. I'm Hungarian as well. And so my dad had played professionally in Hungary, represent the national team, and also a club called Újpest. So I went over to Újpest and did a trial there. And I also went to 2 other teams and did a trial. I really liked it, but I was, how old was I? I think I was like 20 or 21 at the time. And they kind of were looking at me like, dude, what are you doing here at 20? You should have been here at 16, 15, 14, and you're kind of old. I'm like, old, that's crazy. I just hit my 20s,
Yeah.
So I ended up deciding to come back and pursue indoor. And so school just wasn't something I really ever wanted to do. I couldn't wait to get out of high school because I just wanted to try to play soccer.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, what was the transition like, and like what are the differences between playing like indoor and outdoor soccer?
Well, the walls for sure. That's the main thing. Having that component in there. The field's a little bit smaller. Goals are a little bit smaller, but the game of indoor is a lot faster than the game of outdoor. You're playing six aside. So five field players, one goalkeeper, and it's like hockey. If you watch hockey, the puck does not stay still. That's what indoor is. The ball is constantly flying forward, side to side, and players are rotating on lines just like hockey does. Your rotation, your shift is 2 minutes, no more, and that's kind of the main differences. I mean, we could talk about it all day, but in a short, little nutshell, that's the main difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I read an article on ussoccer.com that you're a third generation goalkeeper.
Yes. So my grandfather on my dad's side was a professional goalkeeper for Újpest and the Hungarian national team. And so was my dad. My grandfather was, I believe, well, he played with Ferenc Puskás, who was like a super famous Hungarian soccer player, one of the best players, they say, in history. And where was it going with this? His name's on a statue in Hungary because all the national team players that play for Hungary go on this statue that was in front of Puskás Stadium, which is in Budapest. And so he was ranked like the best goalkeeper to ever play for Hungary. And then so my dad came along, and he also played for the same club, Újpest, which at the time Újpest was the biggest club in Hungary and a huge club in Europe. I mean, they played Champions League. They were a top team. And my dad played national team, played Champions League, played in a lot of big tournaments back when he was playing. And they did like a re-vote on this whole thing, and they actually voted him as the best goalkeeper to ever represent Hungary. And so, I come from a line of goalkeepers that are very good. My dad has also played here in the U.S. With the San Diego Sockers, the St. Louis Steamers, and the New York Arrows playing indoor. And his jersey's retired here in San Diego. But yeah, just following the footsteps of those two, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And being on the USA national team, the beach team, what does that mean to you to just put on the USA jersey?
Yeah, it's a big honor every time you put that jersey on. You're not only representing your name and stuff, but you're representing your country, and that's a big deal. Anytime you can make a team your national team for any sport, it's a big deal. You're saying that you're the best of the population here for this position for this particular sport. So every time you put it on, you're giving everything you got.
Yeah, no, definitely. And even going back to, you're saying your dad and your grandfather were so good. You're a 4-time goalkeeper of the year in the MASL. So like, what does that like tell you about yourself, and like winning those awards are 4 times is no small feat.
Yeah. No, I'm very proud of winning those. It's come up with a lot of hard work. I'm somebody that just works really, really hard. And those are just, those come along with the work. It's just kind of a bonus for me. I play to win games. That's the ultimate thing I want to do is always win. And I've been fortunate enough to have, help with my dad and, guiding me along the way, with the indoor game. And, I'm just very proud of winning those 4 accolades. But yeah, it's all just to the hard work that, I put in.
Enjoy learning what it takes to become a better player from professional soccer players? Well, how would you like to work with professional players one-on-one? Now you can with Be Pro by Perfect Soccer. Head over to perfectsoccerskills.com/BEPRO to apply to work with our network of pro players today.
And I also read you had 2 heart surgeries.
I have. I've had my first surgery was when I was first born, was called transposition of the great arteries. It's where your pulmonary artery and your aorta artery are reversed. So it was born reversed. I wasn't getting oxygen pretty much to the body, and they had to do immediate surgery where they pretty much cut the 2 of them, and they replaced them. They put them in the proper spot. And then when I was a sophomore in high school, the pulmonary artery where they had stitched it, it just kind of stayed the same size. You know, it's your body as it grows, everything's supposed to grow. So it just kind of stayed the same. So blood would try to travel through, and it would kind of get to a narrowing. Imagine like a traffic jam where, you know, you have a 4-lane that goes to a 1-lane and then it opens back up. And so they were saying that they just needed to slice it out. And I went through a procedure. I went through 3 procedures for that one. 2 were called catheterizations. 1 to kind of go in and just do measurements. The second one where they go with the catheterization, pretty much they go through your leg and they put a balloon in there and they expand the artery, and then they would leave it and they would see if it would stay, and it didn't. And so the third option was, okay, well, because that didn't work, we have to go back in, open heart, and take that piece out, and we're going to replace it. Pretty much like a bypass. And they replaced it with somebody else's artery. So yeah, that was my second procedure.
Wow, that's crazy and scary at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely was when I was a kid, for sure.
Yeah. Was there any point where like they said you might not be able to play like soccer because of that, or no?
I mean, yeah, there was. There's always that risk, you know. The whole time I wanted to just play soccer. That was my question. I said, okay, what do I got to do? Can I play soccer? You know, and there was some doubt. They would be like, oh, well, you know, we have to see how you heal, and we're going to have to do a lot of tests with you after. And so I was kind of just ready to do whatever I needed to do in order to play, because I just loved playing soccer, you know, and it all worked out.
Yeah. No, that's just crazy, especially you were so young. All right, are you ready for the 5 or the 6 Quincy questions, actually?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's the most important quality or skill you feel that made you as successful as a pro player?
Probably my determination to work hard. You know, I'll do, you know, whatever I need to do, whatever the coach asks me to do. But I'll also go beyond that and do a lot of stuff on my own. You know, put in extra time here and there. And I've always been willing to do that because I always wanted to be the best that I could be. Yeah, just hard work, putting in that extra work, that extra time that maybe somebody else won't.
For sure. What's the biggest mistake you think pro players are making?
The biggest mistake pro players are making. That's a good one. Let's come back to that one if we can.
All right.
Can we come back to that one?
Yeah. What advice would you give to a young player?
I would tell them, hey, you know, if you work hard, and you put the work in and you're determined, and you decide this is what you want to do, well, then anything's possible, you know, but it's not easy, you know. It's definitely not easy to go pro. There's a lot of distractions in life, you know, other things that you could potentially do to kind of throw you off track. But if you're set on being pro, you know, that's where you want to be. Well, just keep working, you know, take advice from your coaches, have a good attitude, be coachable, and work. And, you know, good things will happen.
Definitely. Why are you passionate about soccer?
Why am I passionate? Well, it's just something about the game, you know. It's just, I love the game. I love being involved with a team, group of people to try to win a game. Also by fixing little problems that happen. I love that, working together, and meeting new people. I just feel like soccer players, they're all like alike in a way. I've never really had any issues with players, where you're like, I don't really like that guy, especially on my team, or, so it's just kind of in that team setting of working together to achieve a goal, and I love obviously the ball at my feet and making a save. That stuff's all, comes with the game, but just the being part of the team.
Mm-hmm. All right, these next two you could answer either in soccer terms or life terms.
Okay.
What is something that most people think is true that you believe isn't? So it could be something,
can be soccer or anything.
Anything. So it could be like something like somebody thinks, something's the best food and you don't think it is.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, my sister thinks the world's flat, and I think it's round.
All right, I like that one. What is something you would move forward with if you weren't scared of what would happen if things didn't go well?
Something I would move forward with. I don't really know. I don't know. Let's go back to the other one. I got to think about that one.
All right. The other question was, what's the biggest mistake you think pro players are making?
I would say some of them nutrition. Maybe not getting the right food in and stuff, and drinking properly and taking care of their bodies properly. We see it in indoor and beach a lot, and you'll see a soccer player. They'll take off their shirt and it's just a body, and it's like, you see a UFC fighter take off his shirt and you're like, damn, okay, this guy's serious. A soccer player, I feel like, dude, you're like a top athlete, a lot of running,
Yeah.
I would say nutritional and they're, working out, getting strong. Obviously, like, these guys can run, but I think the strength is a big component, and their nutrition.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to go back to the other one?
I don't even know how to answer that one, to be honest. What are some things that people have said?
I feel like one of the more general ones would be like, because obviously I majority interview American players, so they say like go try out overseas, which you already did. Are you already there?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, start a business. I feel like it's usually in those two realms.
Yeah, that's probably where. Yeah, I would say start a business.
Yeah. All right, you ready for some fun questions?
Let's do it.
All right, is it football or soccer?
In America, it's soccer, I guess, because NFL has football, which.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, it's soccer.
Do you say goalie or goalkeeper?
Which one? That's a good question. I say both of them. Yeah. Goalkeeper.
All right, Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo. Why?
Ronaldo put a lot of work in, man. I mean, they both can create. I think Messi can create a bit more. They both can finish, but Ronaldo can finish in the air. He's more athletic. He's faster. I think Ronaldo, he's bigger. He's stronger. Yeah, I love both of them. I think they're both fantastic players. But if I had to choose, I go with Ronaldo.
Yeah, I got to get a tally up because I ask everyone that. So I want to see I got to see a poll now. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
What could you describe like either like a top, like one of your top saves or like your favorite save ever?
There's a lot of them. But let's just think. I'll just talk about the one I made in TST against Team Nani because that was a really good one. I think we were tied 1-1 at the time, and the time in the game, I want to say there was, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds, and the ball came across the frame of goal. So I was moving to my left from my near post to the center, and I believe it may have been, I think it was Nani, and Nani hit it. And I just, jumped with my left hand. Don't even know, like, that's a reaction save, obviously. But, like, you just, like, you make the save and like, what just happened? You know, my body just kind of moved on its own. I didn't even think. And so I just kind of got across and I saved it with my left hand. And the time ran out and the whole team ran up to me and they're like, Chris, like, you just won us the game. You know, it was a huge save at that moment because we went into target time.
Yeah.
Tied 1-1.
Yeah, no, definitely. That I don't know why it just popped in my mind. I saw it the other day, and I know it was a couple years ago, but I forgot what it was for Messi's, like, I think maybe 500th goal. And like Budweiser sent every goalkeeper that he scored on, like, what career goal it was.
Yeah,
like, if that ever happened to you, how would you feel about that?
If he sent me a Budweiser?
Yeah, if it's like a legendary player that like scored on you.
Yeah, well, I would dump that Budweiser. I don't drink no Budweiser, and send it back to him. sign it, and send it back to him. Do the Ibra.
That's hilarious. All right, last one. Who would be like so let's say an active player and like an all-time player that you'd want to do a jersey exchange with?
Long-time player, so retired. I would want to do one probably with Francesco Totti. He played for the Italian national team. He was unbelievable. He was my favorite player. If I could change jersey with him, who's retired. A current player right now. I really like Donnarumma, the goalkeeper for Italy as well. PSG goalkeeper. That would be probably somebody I would do a jersey swap with right now for sure.
All right, that's dope. All right, well, I appreciate you coming on, and could you let the listeners know where they can follow you at?
Yeah, Chris Toth 31 on Instagram, and thanks for having me on, man. This was fun.
Quincy Amarikwa here, and thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to share it with someone you feel will get some value from it. And if you could take a moment to leave a review of our podcast wherever you're listening and let us know who you'd like us to interview next, we'll get working on that right away. You can listen to this full episode and more at perfectsoccerskills.com/radio. That's perfectsoccerskills.com/RADIO. You can also enter to win free weekly soccer prizes, goals, balls, jerseys, player meet and greets, and more by heading over to perfectsoccerskills.com/PSTM to enter to win for free today.